I don't get it. If they're such good friends, why do they want to fight each other?
They don't want to, they have to.
They could say no.
But they're boxers. It's what they do.
They call each other brothers, but brothers don't beat each other up.
Actually...
Okay, but you know what I mean.
I don't like fighting either, but I don't think I understand the story well enough yet.
Well, should we look at the prompt?
I got it. What efforts do Antonio and Felix make to achieve their dreams? What do their efforts reveal about them? In what ways are Antonio and Felix similar and different from each other? Write a response to these questions, citing evidence from the text to support your assertions.
So, does the prompt want us to analyze Felix and Antonio as characters?
It wants us to focus on their efforts, what they do to achieve their dreams.
They both had the same dream, right? To be boxing champions.
Does seem like they have a lot in common.
They both like to fight. They are both into working out and keeping a positive attitude.
Are they different from each other?
Well, they look different.
That's true. Says that... Where is it? Antonio was fair, lean, and lanky, while Felix was dark, short, and husky.
And that's important, because the way you're built affects the way you fight.
And they do have different boxing styles. Where is it? Oh, here. The difference was in their style. Antonio's lean form and long reach made him the better boxer, while Felix's short and muscular frame made him the better slugger.
Just that word slugger makes boxing sound so painful.
Yeah, boxing is a bloody sport.
So why do it?
They love it. Don't you see that? They live, sleep, and eat it.
Oh yeah, it says here, every chance they had, the boys worked out. Sometimes at the boys' club on 10th Street and Avenue A, and sometimes at the pros gym on 14th Street.
And they go jogging together every morning.
Sounds like these guys have a lot of discipline.
This is what the prompt is talking about. They're putting in a lot of effort.
They're also learning everything they can about boxing.
Oh yeah, says that between them, they had a collection of fight magazines, second to none. Plus a scrapbook filled with torn tickets to every boxing match they had ever attended, and some clippings of their own. Sounds like they're putting all the money they earn towards learning about the sport.
Well, it's paying off. They've got this stuff memorized. If asked a question about any given fighter, they would immediately zip out from their memory banks divisions, weights, records of fights, knockouts, technical knockouts, and draws or losses.
Sounds like these guys know everything there is to know about boxing.
But why boxing? Why not just, work hard in school?
You don't have anything you love to do?
No, I do. It's just...
What's wrong with boxing?
It's fighting. I mean, I thought these guys were all about not doing that. They're so positive.
Oh yeah, I noticed that part. How the narrator said that the guys were into... While some youngsters were into street negatives, Antonio and Felix slept, ate, rapped, and dreamt positive.
So how does boxing fit into that?
Boxing is a sport. There are rules and skills involved.
And also, I mean, in a regular fight, you're fighting because you're angry. In a boxing match, you don't have anything against your opponent.
You might even love him.
Sounds hard.
That's why they're struggling with it. Like in the scene where they're jogging by the river.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that scene.
You might be right. I think I need to read over it again.
Me too. Should we take 5?
Yeah.
Sure.
Felix is the one to bring it up, that it doesn't feel natural to fight against each other.
Yeah, but Antonio is feeling it too. See, it says he glanced at Felix, who kept his eyes purposely straight ahead.
Also, it looks like Antonio copies Felix a little bit. Felix will do some air punches, and then Antonio will do some too.
So you think Felix is the leader?
He is the one to bring up the problem, and he suggests the solution.
You mean not to talk till the fight?
Yeah.
But Antonio goes with it.
He goes with it, but they have completely different strategies.
Tony spends a lot of time on his rooftop trying not to think about Felix. He's worried about how it's going to affect their friendship.
Where do you see that?
Right here. It says, how would the fight tomorrow affect his relationship with Felix? After all, fighting was like any other profession. Friendship had nothing to do with it. A gnawing doubt crept in.
So he's not sure.
He's worried, but Felix is worried too.
Felix finds something that works for him. He goes to the movies.
Going to the movies makes me feel better too.
Felix finds a solution. It says, when Felix finally left the theater, he had figured out how to psych himself for tomorrow's fight. It was Felix the champion versus Antonio the challenger.
So he's gonna picture someone other than Antonio?
Yeah, exactly. He has to picture someone else in order to fight him.
Wow. Sounds like these guys have to put in a lot of hard work just to convince themselves to get into the ring.
But it works. I mean, it has a really positive ending.
And they pull it off. They fight each other hard, but honestly, and neither of them win.
Or you could say they both win.
Well, actually, one of them does end up winning, but they don't stick around to find out which one.
I have a feeling these amigos are going to be amigos for a long time.
I wonder how this story would have been different if we're about 2 girls.
Well, first of all, it would be called Amiga Sisters.